Hello everybody and welcome back to the Loop Hero series. On our last episode we had our first run as the Rogue, and the first time we've also been on to Chapter 2, and well, it kicked our butt. So much so that I think this time we will try the Rogue again and go back into Chapter 1, where we probably are more able to get into later loops to try and unlock more resources. At the moment we feel a bit too weak. I think we only completed 2 runs in Chapter 2, so we definitely need to have a little power boost, and from this, the best way of getting these from now have been getting cards or unlocking new buildings. Last time I think we did build a farm in the south here, which has now given us a wheat field, but also it has this effect that we can craft food if a supply depot is built. Another tile required the supply depot as well. I think it might have been the smithy. Yeah, we can craft tools if a supply depot is built. So since we have a few buildings at the moment that seem to rely on this, I'm going to try and collect as many resources as I can on this run. I'd also like to try and beat the boss again. But I think this time if we do defeat the boss as the Rogue, Chapter 1 boss this is, I think we'll carry on trying to get as many resources as we can to try and build these additional features. Another one that kind of looked interesting was the Smelter, which I noticed has plus 30 to base HP. So I don't know if there's another event where our shelter can get attacked. So it might be worth looking at investing into this. But for both cases we need much more metal resources. And I think the metals I just got off weapons dropping off our equip screen. So ideally we just want to loop as long as possible. Also the Smelter would unlock a additional 2 cards, a Storm Temple and Arsenal. But as I said, I think for now we aim towards Supply Depot. So again, we're going to go on to Rogue, this time back onto Chapter 2. I do want to edit my deck slightly. Oh, you've done this in the last part actually. We have added the wheat fields. Okay, let's go with this. And let's start again. Just as a reminder, the Rogue works much differently to the Warrior, in a sense that we only get equipment at the end of a loop. So we collect these trophies from defeating mobs, which then, on the end of the loop, we trade for items. And I presume that more difficult enemies give better trophies that give us better rewards. So we really have to be careful. We have to make sure that once we've completed a loop, that we're happy to complete the next one, because we can't really power up easily mid-loop. The only other way to do this is with a battlefield or a treasury. This character also has no shield slot, so we can't get a benefit off the shield. So 2 early villages are quite nice. I think I'm just going to place this down here to get another quest. We have a bandit camp. So now we have 2 quest lines, so let's try and get XP as fast as possible. We didn't really look at the skill sets the rogues can get into. I think we did pick up 1 skill with them last time, so it'll be interesting to see what synergies we can get with our skills versus this class. They start with Vampirism and also have crit chance and crit damage, unlike the Warrior. So we've got our cemetery and battlefield. Again, I think I'm going to try and make this as hard as possible. We still have potions to help us early game. We want to get as difficult a loop as possible to ideally get more trophies and then get better rewards. The same as usual. I'm just going to pop up our resource here. And yeah, so far everything's going fine. First time we've picked up a wheat field. Let's just start on 3x3 mountain grid as we normally do. I think I want to have a wheat field here. So the wheat field will give a Scarecrow, which we've not seen yet, every 4 days. It can only be placed next to a village, and it adds healing to adjacent villages. And healing is good for us. We want the sustain, especially on the Rogue where it seems like it's quite difficult to heal. So we've just traded all trophies now in for rewards. They also have a set bonus for having multiple items with the same skill, so that's something we have to bear in mind as we go forward. I'm hoping our skills though will funnel us into a direction to which weapons we want to keep. So I definitely think we want just the base damage here. We have no boots at the moment, so we can have damage to all or plus 26 critical damage and evasion. I think we'll try this. raw stats on the armor, and then I think all these will be fairly... Oh, there was a level 2 sword here. Let's swap it for a level 1 axe. So no synergies at the moment, but that's fine. Let's try to kill enemies as fast as possible. So we just picked up another loot there. I'm not quite sure what spawned that, but it's level 2 armor, a lot lower HP, gives an evasion bonus and crit damage chance and damage to all. I think for now I might actually trade the raw stats off for this. We now have a 17% chance to crit, and hopefully with 166% damage, let's try and kill enemies as fast as possible, so we take less damage. Still, the loop's fairly easy for now. We've picked up our first grove. I think we try and employ the strategy we had before, where the grove was near the boss, that helped us defeat the Lich the first time. And carry on. We should probably also look at making this part a bit more difficult, because currently we're not getting the benefit off the village heals. It seems at the moment that the rogue does get an item when he comes into a village, so there does seem to be a bit of a synergy there. Evasion bonus up, crit damage, HP slightly down, and we lose a bit of evasion bonus. Oh no, sorry. We gain evasion bonus, we gain crit damage, we lose the chance, and damage to all. I think we'll stick with what we have. We have a first Oblivion card, which, like the time we beat the boss in the first chapter, we would like to hold to destroy the Lich palaces that spawn when the boss spawns, to make our life easier. Another wheat field. I think we stick this around this village. I'm hoping for a vampire mansion as soon as possible, ideally before we complete this loop, so we can ransack one of these villages. Our chest is not a mimic, which is very nice. And we just one-shot that skeleton, which again is nice. So now we're back onto chapter 1. Not every enemy has abilities, and we're really sailing through it at the moment. We're approaching our 3x3 grid up here. I think I will just place the meadow for a blooming meadow next to the mountains. Another wheat field. I guess for now we place this by this village, even though we're looking at ransacking it. But so far, everything's going well. We should heal for full when we complete a loop, as we will do soon. Let me place down... I just want to check, actually. Yeah, I can place on this lower edge, so I'll place it a bit lower. Again, blooming meadows around here. I'd like to get my 3x3 grid of mountains, so I'm going to place the rock up here for now. And now here comes the loot swarm. A lot of metals as we push things off the equipment screen. So, evasion bonus plus 16% and a much greater HP. I think we take it. Straight upgrade for our sword. Evasion 9%, losing critical damage 26%. Again, as I said, we haven't got much chances to heal with this class. So let's try and get evasion as high as possible. I think that would be beneficial to us in the long run. Then the question is, do we want to switch the polearm out? I'm not sure if Gladius synergizes together just because they have the same name, or if it has to have an effect that's the same to give you the bonus. Let's try it out. So we're hopefully doing somewhere around 34 damage a hit on the maximum. And there's no benefit from our other items, so let's see if we get higher than 34 rolls. Of course we can still crit, so we have to bear that in mind. So single Ratwolf. So yeah, we hit for 34. We hit for 38, so maybe we are getting this set bonus now. 2 bandits. Again, as we've hit another loop, it's getting more and more difficult. We are starting to take a bit of trickle damage, but still we have these 3 potions to help us. Our first time fighting a Scarecrow, so it's also a quest, so it has an extra 200 HP. Quite moderate damage, but a fairly high HP actually. 161 HP is not a joke on this early stage. It's Especially when we're not evading at the moment. Our evasion is only 25%, admittedly. And our crit is quite low. So I do feel a bit underpowered than where I think we would normally be with the warrior. But so far I'm enjoying the variety this rogue class is giving us. More wheat fields, still looking for our first vampire mansion, which I believe I've still left in the deck. It would be quite a big misplay from waiting on for it and I haven't got it in my deck anymore. But it might not even be any point now in ransacking it, but we'll see. We are hoping to go beyond the boss, so I still think I would do it right now. And yeah, we're coming around to the easier part of our loop. 2 more mountains. Spawned our first goblin camp, which I'm fine about. We'll also clear this single goblin out on this loop, so it's spawned in quite a nice place for us. Again, I don't think I'm going to wait to try and save 1 tile for opening the treasury. I think we'll try and get this as soon as possible. Another cemetery. I think I will place this by the battlefield. So we're starting to make this area a lot harder. I'd like another village, ideally on this back end now, to trickle our healing over a little bit higher. But yeah, things seem to be going quite well so far. I don't feel the need to oblivion anything at the moment. And here comes another loot swarm for us. Let me try and just do this mid-battle. So this would be high counter, we'd be losing evasion that I'm slightly concerned about. High attack speed though versus evasion. I think this is a trade I would be willing to make. Killing things faster means we just take less damage. At the moment, evasion was probably our best way of pseudo-healing, in a sense of we're just not taking the damage. But let's look for evasion on other items. We've also got a bunch of katars. So 35% critical damage, crit damage chance, and crit damage chance. So I think because of the set bonus synergy, it might be worth taking these 2 slightly weaker katars versus the level 4 one. Just because they both have crit damage chance. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Or at least we can experiment with it. We did pick up another pair of boots, but they're no better. Oh, and we have one more which is just better, so let's switch. Critting for 34, it's fairly good. As I said, let's begin to open this treasury. I might hold off if we can get halfway around the loop to try and get better loot for being on loop 5 and opening it as soon as we go through the camp. More meadows. Place the rock here. We're 40% of the way, maybe like 45% of the way spawning the boss, but at the moment I feel comfortable fighting him. Again, crit damage chance. We now have this on 3 of our 4 items, so I think this will give a set bonus. Or at least that's how I'm understanding it at the moment. I don't know if all 4 things have to have it to get the set bonus. Might check that again when we go back to the main menu screen after this run. We're also picking up quite a lot of resources, which has been nice so far. Obviously this was one of the goals of this run, and we've just leveled up for the first time. So the hero leaves 10% of his findings in the camp when passing through it. This is possibly ideal for the type of run we're doing right now. Every 10% of lost HP gives you a 0.5 chance to instantly deal 1000% damage. Okay, that seems very strong. Especially if we're fighting the boss. 10% chance to keep the card after placing its tile. I think I'm going to try this lethal weakness. I might pick up supplies if we come round again. But for now, I'm not confident yet of this rogue being able to beat the boss. But I think this adds a lot to us. Another trophy. Another tile that shouldn't be too bad. We're critting quite often now. We have a ghost here. Nice. First vampire mansions. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to ransack this village. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable ransacking the other one at the moment. It's halfway around our loop, So we're going to get a decent chunk of heal off this. We have taken already maybe like 33% of our health. I think for now, I might place this by our camp. Because we did find out before if we place stuff around our camp, we do stop the Lich palaces spawning. We're also looking for our first blood grove, which would be nice because the flesh golems that they spawn give us much better loot. And I presume this will work the same on the rogue. So another chest, a rare chance for us to pick up items midway through a loop. We got another ghost. Oh, we didn't get the loot off that chest. Maybe it is going into the trophy bag as well, and I've misinterpreted how it'd work. Either way, blood grove here. I'm holding onto this rock. I will pop our treasury when we complete the loop. So these skeletons now are hitting quite hard. One of the harder hitting enemies, I think, from the cards we have at the moment, hitting 43 a time. Again, we have a goblin leader here that's raging off allies dying, so we'd ideally like him to die first. Of course, we've killed his 2 minions first, so he was doing much more damage to us than he otherwise could have been. We popped our first potion as well. So, we are obviously in like a bit of a perilous place right now. We are about to get a heal going through the camp. So I would like to carry this on through the next loop. We have another cemetery, which I think I'm just going to place here away from the battlefield for now. A vampire mansion. I think again I'm going to spawn this around the boss area to block spawns. And then we have a bunch of meadows. I'm going to place one here and one here. So in comes the loot fountain again. We now have level 6 boots. So they have crit damage. Much better armor with just defense instead of the attack speed. Again, it's quite difficult. I think the synergy bonus was plus 10%. So we currently have a 58% chance to do 140% damage. I'm not sure if it's worth breaking the synergies at the moment for much better stats on loot. I think I will trade up at the moment. Evasion seems very important on this class, and this is a form of evasion for us. We have level 7 armor that is just a massive amount of HP, and I think we need it to survive this next loop. So then, because we have no synergy here, I'm quite happy just to take the stats on weapons. So, better stats, and better stats. So we now only have 10% chance again for crit damage, but the crit damage is much higher. Also, our HP is in a much better place. Although it is at 666 now, which is foretelling probably a bad prophecy of this run. But I think we can turn this around. Also, as I said, sorry, when I finish this, I'll pop the treasury. I should have done it immediately. So let's place a rock. We opened our treasury. One less evasion, but has a higher crit chance and has an evasion bonus. I don't know what the evasion bonus is. I'm not sure if this is actually what the synergies are. But for now, our evasion is 15%, so 7 off here. So yeah, it's taking 7 plus 8%. I'm not sure why it's different from evasion versus evasion bonus. Hopefully we'll find out. We have another battlefield. There's definitely some risky places we can place this at the moment. Maybe placing it over here with the the scarecrows, because they don't have a soul. And we just won't ransack this place. And hopefully we'll get a chest spawn on here now as well. We have another rock, which we'll place here. And another grove that I think, for now, I'm going to place on the other side of the vampire palaces. So there's now only 2 tiles where the Lich Palace can spawn. I have 2 Oblivions. So any future Oblivion we can use on mobs. We're evading at 15% now. We've got some evades there, which is very nice for us. Our potions went back up to 3. Again, we need this HP at the moment. Place down another rock, another meadow. I have nowhere to place this wheat field right now, so I have to hold it. Ideally on this run, eventually we'll be strong enough that we just don't need to place cards and we can start getting these memory fragments, which seem to only come from tiles dropping off the... cards in our hand, overfilling and going off the screen. We have picked up another village, so we can place this down on a wheat field, and I will be doing that probably near the back end of our loop. As I said, so far, early on this run and early on playing with this character, I feel like the villages are very important for the rogue, just for this triple heal around the loop. We don't have the regen on this class, and we don't have vampirism, other than the 5% he starts with, which is pretty meagre at this point of the run. So I need to make sure I don't place this village somewhere that the vampire mansion's going to gain a benefit off. I think for now I'm going to place it here, and a wheat field adjacent to it. We have another rocks and meadow, placing the rock down and meadow up here for a blooming meadow. We've just popped another potion, as we've just dropped below 50% HP. But we are coming round to now our actual village as opposed to the ransacked one. Let's place this mountain down. We spawned another goblin camp, and it's in a place I'm very concerned, so I'm just going to oblivion this with the spare one. But yeah, things are looking quite nice. Healed just above half HP. But we're coming down to a potentially tricky part of the loop with ghosts spawning. Again, I'd ideally like this chest not be a mimic. And we have just leveled, so let's go back to planning mode. So we have supplies picked up again. Child of the Forest, a Ratwolf may come to your aid during battle, and it's a 75% chance that's very high. And fighting against 3 or more enemies will grant you an additional trophy. I can see the benefit of this, but ideally I'd want an additional better trophy. I think we tried Child of the Forest and see how good the Ratwolf does. Because it's not just the additional damage he could benefit, if he's actually an ally tile, enemy attacks might target him as well, so it'll save us HP. So I'm seeing this more of a sustain than a damage up. And we've got our Ratwolf, and he is indeed on a tile, so he could take damage off us. So it seems a very strong ability right now. And we're being very lucky to get it in all the battles at the moment. We have gargoyles now spawning from our empty treasury. We could oblivion it, as I mentioned before, but I've not been too worried about the gargoyles right now. They seem fairly weak. Placing mountain down, meadow. Again, it's like 60-70% of spawning the boss. We just need to be aware of it for where we are in the loop. And make sure we don't spawn him when we don't want to. Again, this is going to be a tricky battle, and I'm happy we've got a Ratwolf friend who's died very quickly. We really need to target onto this goblin leader as soon as possible. We're about to take our final potion. And we have. But we've completed our quest. Again, that was a very tricky battle actually. The quest landed on the goblin leader. So hopefully we'll get a really good reward from the trophy off him. Another grove. Just wondering where to place this for now. I might place this here, just off the battlefield. Maybe try and get a blood grove over here. But yeah, heal off the village, which is quite nice. We are going to come back round to the start again below half HP, and probably aren't going to heal much higher than that. So I wouldn't say we've significantly progressed this loop. More wheat fields, like to see it. Another mountain tile and another meadow tile. What's interesting as well is that only one vampire spawned in this tower, whereas I think it was in the range of 2 vampire mansions. I wasn't sure if this would stack, if we'd get 2 vampires, but it appears not. So I'd be happy to put another vampire mansion here to block another spawn. We have more meadows. Let's place this up here to make it to blooming. And we're about to come through camp. So let's pause the game again. Our loot fountain has come in. We healed actually over half, so we're about 60% of our HP. let's just check our loot out. So we have some boots with added evasion. We have damage to all on it, but we'll be trading quite a lot of evasion actually, because we do have the evasion bonus on the boots at the moment. They don't seem to be seen by this arrow. I think for now, I'm happy with all boots. 18% evasion. This might sound crazy, but I'm considering putting these on. It's swapping literally all our stats out for an additional 3% evasion. It's probably not worth it. We also have some boots up here which is 14% evasion, so that's one less evasion and has damage to all. I don't think this is too much of a great pick for us. We have a level 8 guitar, which I'm definitely going to equip. And it's going to replace the pole arm. We have a 6 weapon, which has got a high evasion bonus on it, damage to all, which will be quite nice. I'm just going to replace a gladius with this. Level 8 armor. We trade 8 defense for about 100 HP. Again, I'm not sure how defense works into the stat. If it's just, as I said, a subtraction off the roll, it might not be worth it actually. It depends how many enemy attacks we're going to get per run. If we think we're getting more than, I'd say like 15 attacks, it's probably not worth to change onto the higher HP. So I think we will get that amount of attacks, so I'm just going to not change for now. This armor is just worse in my opinion. We have a level 8 Katara as well. We already have one of these equipped. I think I will trade this for the Dirk. Again, we should probably check these through more thoroughly before equipping them, because we want them to drop off the screen, so I don't think we get metal when we replace it. But I think I'm happy with everything so far. The grey items are always just raw stats, so I don't think these can really be much better than what we have equipped. But our boots are pretty low level for where we are now. That was a crit for 100 damage, which I like to see. Also, getting very high crit damage helps with our vampirism that we just innately have. We've picked up another blood grove. And as I said, I think I'm going to place this on this side. We have no villages at the moment we can place this wheat field around, so we have to hold on to it. Completed a quest, which is nice. Again, we are starting to hemorrhage damage a little bit, but this Ratwolf pickup has seemed to be very strong in my opinion. This is probably one of the more challenging tiles. We just hit for 124 off a crit, which was insane. Our Ratwolf's died, but he's died for a good cause, taking that damage off us. Nearly killed the vampire. And yeah, we used one potion this fight, just used the second one. But things are looking pretty good so far. I'm going to place them on the mountain down here. We're also approaching the time where our ransacked village that we made on about turn 3 will level up, I think, on the completion of the next loop. Let's place another mountain down here, which are giving us additional HP, if you remember. And a day passes again. And so far, it's hard to say if I feel as strong as I did with the warrior when we completed his run. We had a lot of healing on him, and that was really sustaining us. The rogue has definitely got a lot more damage, but we don't have anywhere near the survivability that we did on the warrior. So it would be very interesting to see how this boss battle goes, if we can just out-damage him. We've just got another treasury, so we'll look to open that now. We're 80% of the way now to spawning the boss as well. I think we're going to try and do this on the next loop though. So if we do look like we're about to spawn it with cards, I'm going to hold on to them. Place a rock here. Again, this could be a tricky tile. We're taking long enough to come around here now that the cemetery is spawning 2 skeletons, and each one can become a ghost because of our battlefields. Fortunately, we haven't got any. Again, there's probably an argument to make to oblivion this camp. The goblins are very high damage, especially if you don't target the leader first. Which again, we haven't. We've targeted literally all his allies first. So he's now hitting quickly at 28. We've used all our potions, and that was pretty brutal. So much so that I think I might oblivion the goblin camp now. It's going to become too dangerous next loop. It also stopped that goblin spawning. And let's look to place different tiles over here. Maybe try and get a blood grove on the inside that corner here. Level 6 Qatar. Counter and crit damage chance. So that's interesting as well. It shows that it's up on one weapon and down on the other one. We need the damage, I think, for now. You know, our buddy's fighting the tough fight at the moment. And we're about to hit our camp again and complete the 6th loop. Let's pause again to see which loot we've got. We've now got some level 8 yellow loot. And a level 10 boots. I think it's the first time we've seen boots at this level. Or anything at this level for that matter. And we did say on the last loot we really wanted a high level loot. So this is 23% evasion and 31% critical damage. We also have level 9 boots, which have less evasion. 6 with low evasion crit damage chance up. And damage to all attack speeds with some evasion. 23% evasion. I can't say no to that. We again have a Qatar with counter 11%, critical damage 26%, and it's a damage up for both of our weapons. We would be removing crit damage chance off one of them. Is it worth taking the 12% one off, which does do 1 base more damage? I think that is the one I would trade it on, which is our top one. We then have an evasion bonus on this Dirk. Let's lean into the evasion. I think we're going to swap both of them out. They're now not the same type of weapon, which I guess means we don't get that bonus, but we have evasion now at 34%. In terms of armor, there's nothing here that immediately just scanning over makes me want to switch. So let's carry on. I think we're in an okay enough place to carry on. 70% of our HP, 2 more potions. Let's go. And we are really picking up these resources now. We still don't know what happens when we hit a resource cap. By the way, we've never done it before. I don't know if again that all drops off and we get a different resource. Might be worth watching out for. Did our village also change over here to account lands? Dude, a lot of evasions there for us. Yeah, it has upgraded now to account land. So this is going to be a big heal for us as well early on in the loop. Need another village to place down these wheat fields. But so far everything's going fine. Another goblin camp. It would be nice if we could have a counter somewhere showing us how many mountain and rock towers, because I might have held off on that. I think I'm going to oblivion it. It causes so many problems on the last loop and it's basically in the same place. We've leveled up again, so let's level up in the battle. So after losing 20% of my max HP in a battle, I can evade all attacks for 2 seconds. Again, this feels very strong for fighting the boss. We can get 3 more traits, or Blissful Ignorance. Deals your full hand of Oblivion cards from now on using Oblivion cards. Heals the hero by 10% of his max HP. That seems incredible, but I don't think it's incredible right now. We don't have too many things we want to Oblivion. It would be nice for the heal, I suppose, but I think Smokescreen might be the strongest, especially as the boss hits very hard. So let's take Smokescreen. But when we start looping around again, assuming we keep picking up hero trait levels, I would definitely look at that Oblivion card to maybe make the map easier for us so we can loop longer. Again, we're coming close to open this treasury, and we continue. This is a very unique enemy selection: a gargoyle, a skeleton, and a vampire. Sounds like the start of a joke of mobs going into a pub. But I don't know what the punchline would be. We have another vampire mansion. As I said, I'm going to place this up here to drop another Lich Palace spawn. The vampire mansions don't seem to stack on top of each other, so we won't get 3 additional vampires. It'll still just be 1. And we've picked up another cemetery. We could place this down adjacent to the other cemetery to get a Oh, sorry, it's cemetery, not a battlefield. My mistake. Do we want to place this adjacent to here? Or should we place one up here to get the vampires? It's a difficult decision at the moment for us. I think I'd rather have it on an individual tile right now. Let's just say here for now. As I said, we're looking at trying to put a grove around here and a blood grove here. In fact, we have the grove card now. I'm just going to place it. Next blood grove goes here. But yeah, we seem to be going well as we can so far. This additional evasion chance seems to be helping a lot, and the Ratwolf is taking hits for us like a pro. That's 66 damage on them that we didn't have to take. Excellent. Don't know why I paused. We're approaching 90% of the way to the boss. We have to bear that in mind now. We could possibly spawn him on this loop, but it's looking more like we'll get the next loop. It's interesting as well that we've gone through more loops with the rogue before spawning the boss than we did with the warrior. Maybe it's just the way the deck's slightly different. We have more weak field, so we're placing less mobs on the map. I'm going to place another rock here, so we're 2 tiles off opening this treasure. We've spawned a ghost. I'm glad we attacked the mob. Oh, it's a mimic. So this does 52 damage. So it is pretty hard hitting, but fortunately we've survived it. We have another village now. Spawned another bandit camp, and I'm going to place some wheat fields over here. And one last vampire mansion here. So I now don't think the Lich can spawn any palaces. Maybe he can spawn one on this tile. So we might want to try and drop something there just to be safe. And I might hold on to this vampire mansion for now. We're very close to spawning the boss. I don't really want to have another mob on the map. I'd much rather open the treasury first. Well, I think this is probably the furthest in terms of loops we've ever gone for either character. And let's hope we can go further. Oh, a dark slime. I'm not sure what spawned this. So it attacks quite quickly, 27.56, and it's cosmic. Again, never seen that effect before. I'm not entirely sure. It still says 5% chance of spawning a slime. Maybe there are different slimes, just very rare ones in the pool. But that's the first time in however many hours we've played this so far I've ever seen that. I'm going to place this grove here, as I said, just in case a palace can spawn there. And carry on through the loop. I definitely want to complete this loop now before we spawn the boss. There is a tricky tile coming up with the flesh golem and a bunch of Ratwolves. And it will just be after we complete the loop, so they'll get an attack buff. But I still think we're going to be able to deal with it just fine. So we're not going to place anything right now. We should heal close to full. We'll fill up our potions again. So this next loop I think is the time we go for the boss. Level 10 armor. Much more max HP. We just lose 1 defense off it and has crit damage and magic damage. It's a no-brainer upgrade. We have boots with less evasion, more attack speed and more crit chance. The crit chance is only 10% at the moment, but we do 240 damage on hit. I don't want to switch up. I think I want to keep my evasion. This is also an evasion down but attack speed up. I guess attack speed does synergize with crit chance. The more times you can attack, the more likely you are to crit. But I think for now, I really don't want to swap any of this evasion off us. We could swap away our critical damage for 33% evasion. This might actually be a tempt for me. Our crit damage stays at 200%, but we'll be taking... Our evasion will go up to 44%, so almost every other hit wouldn't be affecting us. In terms of weapons as well, we just have raw stats on a weapon. It's 40 to 60, which is insane. But I don't think, again, I really want to swap this at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't pop the treasury immediately, which I kind of would like to do. I think I'm keeping everything else as it is. We seemed quite comfortable. We did heal to full. Let's see how we go against these monsters. I forgot Vampire was also going to spawn onto this tile. The Blood Grove is helping us to kill these quicker. I'd very much like us to hit this Flesh Golem. It's hitting at 112 damage. It's virtually like the boss damage. Nice evade there, and it was a smoke screen, so every attack started evading us. So one hit was like 20% of our HP, I think, then. I have nowhere where we can place the wheat fields. I'm going to hold off opening the treasury, I think, for now. With a rock, that is. I'd rather use a meadow. Unfortunately, the day ticked over, but... Meadow opened that. We didn't get very good loot, just by skill level. No, not interested in that, and not interested in that either. So I think now we look at spawning the boss. So, rock. Rock. Here comes the boss. No Lich Palaces around us, so any Oblivions we get from now on are just free for us. Just use it wherever we want. And I'm going to hold on to these cemeteries until we get onto tiles that we're passing to get the resources off them, I think. Or I guess we could hold on to them. Actually, I will hold on to them. Let's try and overfill our hands instead, to get more of that resource, rather than the one stone I think we get off passing through a graveyard. So evasion, as I said, is at 34% right now. We could still upgrade for these boots, but we'd have to make the decision now. But I think for now, things are working fine for us. Again, it's not really strong one-to-one synergy, as I said, we might focus on. We do have a decent balance, but it's mainly between evasion and crit damage. We still have a little bit of counter as well, which can't help. Which can obviously help us. It can't be bad is really what I wanted to say. Another grove. I think I'm quite comfortable having another grove just in front of us. Hopefully we get a Ratwolf on the boss as well. 75% chance, so it's in our favour. Coming round to a more difficult part of our loop. We did heal to full passing through our villages. We have one or two more on the back end of the loop as well. Well, yeah, I'm pretty confident at the moment we should be able to beat this boss. I think I will continue placing meadow tiles down. They're giving us 3 HP at the start of each day. Another rock, 2 HP. I'll have the HP. About to open up another chest. We've attacked the mob first, which I appreciate, rather than the chest. We've picked up another wheat field that we can't play. It was a mimic. And we've got an Oblivion now, so this is going to be nice to use in the future to remove a tile we just don't want to deal with. But again, happy with how everything's going. We're pretty we're pretty steady at high HP. We've got maximum potions to still use. Keep placing over here. There's no downside now, I suppose, to playing things. I'm not sure if we get our trophy pop. I think we will get our trophies popped as well when we go into the boss battle. So we could always upgrade in the fight. I'd be interested to see if we get more dialogue. Is this still the same character as we mentioned in the narrative? It's just a different memory, and it's his memories of being a rogue. Well, we say his memories, it could be someone else's memories. We don't even know if he's a warrior. Both could be someone else's memories. I guess we'll find out as we progress through the story of this game. Again, Ratwolf did a great job for us, tanked some damage. We healed not too far off full. I think we also do get the heal at the camp when we do start the boss battle. So I'm hoping we're going to be at full HP. And I'm very, very confident that we beat him. Probably more confident than I was when we beat the boss with the warrior 2 episodes ago. And now we've started to knock our cards out of our hands, as we said we wanted to. So we just took a potion then. 50% HP. I still think we'll beat the boss quite comfortably. And Smokescreen is going to help us a lot. Let's place these meadows down. So I think a day might just take as we fight the boss. And this is the best we can do, I think, for now. Oh, we could place this other rock. Yeah, let's place this other rock. And we're coming to the boss battle. So, okay, our treasures didn't pop, and we didn't get the HP. How is it possible? That's right, you hadn't... Wait. This conversation, I remember it. I've already killed you. What the hell is happening here? Killed me? It's... I see. So that's how it is. I'm just his after-image, not the original. You have no idea what you've done. And how many times will I have to do this world a favour by slicing you in half? I don't think that you're able to comprehend this. I am part of a self-defense mechanism, a multitude of copies sent to different realities at the moment of death. My destruction cannot be fixed, but in an endless series of attempts, different outcomes are possible. Okay. I've defeated you once and I can do it again. Admittedly, you defeated him as the warrior, but... So we're in the boss battle. We did get a Ratwolf, which is exactly what we wanted. We're not being... sorry, the Ratwolf's not the target. We are. Here comes our evasion. Unfortunately, it didn't proc between the attacks, actually. And we might just die, actually. It's going to be very close. We're probably 2 hits away. Fortunately, our Blood Grove came in the clutch. I couldn't change anything, but your victory won't change anything either. Eternity will grind you to dust, and I'm just a small gear in that process now. If killing you makes me stronger, I won't need an eternity. Now be gone. So we got his trophy, and now we can pick one reward. So resources cap in the expedition is increased. Tempting to pick, because we said we want to get resources, and we've just maxed out. We've also got a skull now, which I presume has come from the boss. Time flies faster, don't think we really need it. And we can have a 2% chance to get a whole resource here instead of a chunk. I think we go for Deep Pocket. And I think we're going to stay. Try and get as much metal as possible. We now see level 12 loot. So we lose an evasion, we get more crit damage chance, attack speed up, and magic damage. I think I'm happy to trade. Not interested in that boot. We have a 12 Qatar, evasion bonus, crit damage chance. I think I'm happy to put this onto our Qatar with less damage, which is our top one. Then we have a level 10 Dirk, which is much more damage than the Dirk we have so far, and has an evasion bonus. The other weapons, this is a lot of damage, and it comes with defense, but we basically lose all the stats. We could get to above 50% evasion. I think surviving is more important at the moment than this damage, although it is so much damage. It's like a 50% damage up. I think for now, let's equip this, and our 12 armor, crit damage chance way higher. And it's a HP up. Great. Yeah, I'm very happy with that, how this has gone. We've killed the boss with the rogue for the first time, in the Act 1 boss this is. Let's just try and maximise the resources we can get now. It'll be also interesting to see how hard the enemies are hitting now. So our Ratwolf is taking 50 to 40 damage a hit, so this was off quite an easy battle, I would have said. We might also be able to fill the screen out. We are taking a lot of damage. Evasion proc from smoke screen saves a lot of damage. Completed our quest. Let's pause for now. Blood Grove we wanted in here. We've picked up another village. Let's place this here. Wheat field on this side. Meadow. We place by the rocks. And I think we start doing another mountain over here now. We spawn another goblin camp, which I don't want to deal with. Gone. Yeah, I think we just tried to get around this loop again. Enemies are hitting a lot harder. We've got a lot of evade chances off this, so we took little to no damage. definitely things are hitting very hard now. Obviously, you have to remember as well, we're not going to have to fight the boss on this loop, which did most of our damage. We're not taking too much right now. As I said, we want to stay on this as long as possible. Try and cap out all the resources. 2 more villages. Excellent. I think I'm just going to place one immediately in front of us. We've got a bandit camp. So be it. We could save that for a wheat field, so I think I'm going to place the other one here. Villages again, trickle heal for us. No downsides. Holding on to all these tiles that spawn more mobs for now. Just till we assess how difficult this is going to be. But at the moment we seem to be healing off this loop, so maybe we'll go for another loop. Quest done again, we're about to ding in XP. We have a boss flesh golem coming up, which I hope is just going to be HP again. I should really be hovering over these. Yeah, just 200 HP again. Never seen a different type of quest goal. But we're hitting incredibly hard right now. Although his HP is now at 1000, so the flesh golems are becoming like bosses themselves in the loops. Hitting for 143, so basically could fight the Lich right now. Another wheat field. Guess this here. And more rocks. But so far this run has exceeded my expectations. I thought maybe we'd beat the boss, but I didn't think we'd be looping again afterwards. We did ding there. So the hero receives 7% less damage for every enemy starting after the second enemy. Pretty good. Lowers the quantity of items received on camp tile by 3 while increasing the quality. Again, I think this could be insanely good for us. We're picking up a lot of trophies right now, probably more than we can actually hold. So getting better items will let us stay in this loop longer. And we can 10% chance to simultaneously attack 2 targets. I think I'm going to take Picky. I think it's the best growth for us. A Ratwolf buddy. Been there for us for quite a long time. Still tanking damage for us, and we are actually healing now as we go around this loop. So this is a very good position for us to be in. So much so, as I said, I think we should start holding cards. Just letting them drop off the back of the screen. But there is a part of me that wants to see what happens if you can fill the map. But definitely the most loops we've done. We've completed 9 loops, we're about to go on a 10th loop. And I'm assuming it says the enemies is increasing by 2% at a time, so we have to keep out-fighting them. We have to keep getting better. If we don't get better, one loop we might die. But for now, we seem to be comfortably better. It would be nice if we could hit this bandit though. Thank you. More meadows. Like to see it. Place the rocks for a HP. This is also the most HP we've ever had. Yeah. About to complete our loop. I just can't believe at the moment things are going so well. It's going to be a long video as well, but I think it's more than worth it to get full resources. Again, we seem to be full on our food supply. And now we're starting to pick up these memory fragments. Things are dropping off the screen. That's fine by me. This is definitely the more difficult part of the loop. We are getting chunked down a little bit over here. But let's place a few mountains, a few meadows. We are going to have a goblin camp spawn, I think. Yeah. It's not spawning in a bad place for us. If anything, it's probably the best place it could have spawned. Don't want to place any battlefields down for now. Let's carry on. Level 14 gear now. Much higher max HP. Crit damage up, counter up, but come on, you have to take that. I should have looked at this one first actually. Lower HP, more crit damage, lower counter. The HP down is fairly considerable actually, so I'm quite happy with what we've got. 14 boots that are rare. So evasion down slightly, magic damage up, defense just gives it us, and crit damage plus 21%. 3% evasion for more damage effectively. Let's go with it. We also have a level 14 armor that's only yellow. That's crit damage and crit chance up. Oh, no, sorry, crit damage chance is the same. Do I want to trade the 3 defense off? You know what? I think I will do. And then for weapons, spear, way higher damage. We have to trade evasion off for this though. But if we can just one-shot things, I think that would be better for us. And then finally a Katar, which is just crit damage rather than crit chance. I'd rather have the crit chance and evasion that we have on our Katar at the moment. And let's carry on, see if we can complete this loop. Flesh Golem's now hitting for 145. It's very scary. We did a proc smoke screen. Again, I've been very happy with our abilities we've picked up so far. Each one of them has seemed to give us a pretty big boon, actually. This Ratwolf has taken so much damage. I'd love to see the start of how much damage he actually took off us for this run. It's almost been like having high regen. Also, smoke screens just stopped us from taking, again, big chunks of damage. Another Blood Grove. We could place this over here, actually. Where's best for this Blood Grove? Let's have it on the inside of this corner. Another treasury. Sure, let's try and open it. Mountain. Meadow. And I'm holding on to everything else. We have used another potion on this run, I think. The evasion on these bandits is getting ridiculous. They're actually becoming quite a thorn in our side. Smoke screens popped again. We are really getting chunked down right now. We are coming through our village corner there. But maybe I should stop with the hubris right now. Taking a worrying amount of damage. Still think we can complete this loop. But we might want to retreat on this next one. Again, great amount of resources. We've capped out on wood and food. Would be nice to get more metal, but it's kind of hard for us to pick up metal on the rogue at the moment, especially with the ability that gives us less drops off our trophies. More armour, not as good. Bloodgrove coming to help us again. And it'll help us on all these tiles now in this inside loop. Yeah, this is being very nice at the moment. But I don't think we're going to do it, but we've got this treasury effect now where we could pop them with one less resource. Not sure if we're going to get to that situation, but you never know. But yeah, things are, again, staying quite nice. We are picking up health now since this beginning of the loop. It seems very much like the north part of our map is much harder than the rest of the map. We have another, sorry, we're saying another. We've got an Oblivion card which we could use to clear a difficult tile coming up. I think I might even, I'm considering holding on to it for now. What would I obliviate if I could, sorry, Oblivion. I'm just going to keep calling it Obliviate. Maybe remove this bandit camp. Or one of the bandit camps up here. Because they are now evading us quite a lot. And it's becoming pretty annoying to fight them. Let's remove the bandit camp. I'm happy enough to have the flesh golem spawn for the effect of the flesh. Sorry, the blood grows. Again, I think that's helped us not take so much insane damage. To open up this thing, I'm going to have to place a mansion down here and here. Which is fine. If we exit on this loop, it won't matter. More HP off the villagers. Got a little bit more metal. Hoping for not a mimic chest. Because we get our vampirism off this chest anyway. And yeah. I'm really pleased with how this has gone. I think we've handled the run very well. I don't think we've made too many mistakes. As I said, I think evasion is very strong on the rogue. I think it's almost essential. Sorry. We've now got a Book of Memories. We can place a village down here. Spawn another bandit camp, so be it. Lost a wheat field, again, I don't mind. And shall we try to pop the treasuries? Meadow. Can we actually do it right now? Go on, I'll place a mountain up here. I don't think we can. We're going to have to place vampire margins here and ruin this place. We can't place anything on the corner there. Yeah, we just need one more. Either rock, mountain, or grove. Oh, sorry, meadow, not grove. And we've got it. So let's open both these treasuries. Nice. Dropped a lot of things off our screen, which gave us metal. All the loot is a lower level. I think for now I'm just going to save time and not go through it if it's that low. It's basically 5 levels in most cases. And I think we might call it quits on this run. We have filled out some of our resources now. So let's just try and drop cards off our screen. Let's try and maximise the number of these book fragments. We also have an Orb of Immortality now, which we've never seen before. I'm going to save this Oblivion. I don't want to use it. But in a pinch, we can just clear a tile in front of us now. But yeah, I think we retreat on this loop. We won't find out what happens when you maximise the map. Maybe we'll try and do this later on when we're very strong and we have a much better settlement than right now. I do think we can go on, but there's no point in going on, as I can see it, unless we can raise our cap. So yeah, things are nice. I'm not even going to place this other treasury. We're getting level 15 loot now. But as I said, I think maybe we retreat for now. Yeah, I think we just retreat. There's no real benefit anymore to carrying on. I think if you place these, you get the resources. So let's just place down as many tiles as we can. Place down the rocks, the meadow, more rocks. So long flesh golems, just Oblivion him. Oh, interesting. So the Blood Grove, if there's no grove next, it becomes a Hungry Grove. Occasionally attacks the hero for 38 damage and devours enemies that have less than 20% HP left. So that's so this will affect both the hero and enemies, and it's 20% it said. So that's something we have to be careful about. Interestingly, we just found a new synergy just by randomly placing things over the map, but I'm not complaining. We have to be very cautious and of ever doing a Oblivion on a grove next to a Blood Grove. I don't know if we get a resource for placing this. No. No. Yes, on the grove. Cemeteries. Just the loop's filled. We have nowhere we can place this anymore. Okay, let's retreat. We lose nothing. We get such a large amount of resources. Excellent. Great run with the rogue. Lots of achievements popping. Let's see what we can build for now. So we've already built one farm. It appears we can build multiple. We still don't have enough metal for the smelter or the supply depot. We can build a cemetery now. Can resurrect the hero after an upgrade. That's kind of tempting. And we get memory fragments of passing through a cemetery. Maybe I will take this actually. I know we were aiming for the supply depot, but a cemetery in the north, the cold north. Thank you. It's a nice place. Calm. There are some people, but quiet ones. They look a bit grim, but they can tell you many things if you can listen. Okay, spooky guy. We now have the cemetery, so we get memory fragments through cemetery, so it's beneficial to have cemeteries in our deck. And if we can ever upgrade it, which we can't for now. It costs a lot of stone and this resource, which I don't think we've ever seen before. But we can get a resurrect. This has unlocked a crypt, so this unlocks the next class, the necromancer, and unlocks the ancestral crypt golden card if an intel center is built. And the intel center, we need a supply depot. Okay, again, looks like a lot of stuff's hinging on the supply depot. But a lot of things are requiring metal. Maybe we'll do a run as the warrior and try and go as deep as possible. Again, onto chapter 1. To try and get one of these things. The cemetery hasn't really given us a huge improvement toward stats. So I still think we'd get our ass kicked in chapter 2. Again, I think we just try and do a run as long as possible to try and get as much stone to give us a crypt. And if we can get 8 metals, then we'll get the supply depot instead. We have no additional cards, so I think we're going to stop there. Sorry it's been a bit of a long episode, but I guess if we do these runs that need to get more resources, the runs will just get longer. Maybe in the future we'll just like have a bit more banter and just chit chat instead of talking about my decision making behind the processes. Especially if, as it seems like at the moment, chapter 1 is becoming fairly easily completable. So thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!